Okay, today I want to show you how to use a few different brushes to apply your 3D foundation. I have my own custom palette here, and the brushes I'll be using today are the 30-second hack brush, detail hack brush, blend and tap brush, and the Hotline. Now, I have already done my eyebrows with the Hotline brush. Basically, rule of thumb here is use really small, gentle strokes, and I just like to follow my natural brow shape, but of course you can shape and tweak whatever you want to with your eyebrows, and the Hotline brush is a great one to use. This spoolie end is really helpful for combing anything out, softening things up, and prepping your brow to be filled. But let's just hop right in. I am going to start with some highlight. My favorite brushes to use with highlight are probably, let's see, for the larger areas of your face, either the larger end of the 30-second hack brush or the larger end of the detail hack brush. Let me show you with the 30-second hack. I really like how this one does a pretty light to medium coverage. Same thing with the detail hack brush. You can really get a full coverage with either as well, but they do a really good job with light to medium, and I like how the larger ends just spread things around really easily. Actually, well, I'll do half of my face with the 30-second hack and then half with the detail hack. So just getting these in my highlight areas, and now let me show you how I use this. It's like a paintbrush end kind of, which might seem intimidating, but it does a really good job of just getting product where it needs to go quickly. So it's awesome for highlight. And same thing on my forehead here and on my nose. It's kind of an intimidating brush, but it's so nice to have. You see, I'm swiping under my eyes here. I would then dip back into my brightening highlight and just my brightening and get that area under there. But honestly, I usually use a smaller brush for the brightening highlight under my eyes. So the smaller end of the detail hack is great to just really get precise placement. You want to do that triangle shape under your eye, you know, to brighten. I just really like using the smaller brushes because they're more gentle. They get into these small areas, and I'm even going to whip out the small end of the blend and tap brush. I guess these ends are kind of the same size, but it's like the flatter end. I'm going to dip into that and even use that for this job too. With its small end, it gets into those small areas really nicely. Super gentle brush. It's going to give you pretty light coverage, but it's awesome. And then once I'm done with the highlight for my under eye, I'm just going to swipe this right on my eyelids because it's an eyeshadow brush made for eyelids. So we'll get some of that on there in preparation for some eyeshadow. Next, let's play with contour. Honestly, I would use any of these four ends for contour. My favorites are probably this one and either of these. This one's my #1 favorite, so we're gonna show you with that first. And again, I just use this with highlight, but it's okay. All that highlight product is on my face now, so I can dip into my contour and chisel out my cheekbones, chisel out my forehead, and any on my jaw or on the side of my nose if you want to get fancy. But let me show you how I would use contour with the 30-second hack brush as well. Basically, with these smaller, pointier ends, again, you can totally do contour with these ends. It's just gonna give you like a more solid, bold line that you're gonna wanna blend out really well. But that's some people's favorite, totally cool, totally fine. But let me show you how I would do that with this one. I would just get like one end, mostly the tip kind of in the contour, and then just draw the line and then blend it out with a different brush. Or you can kind of blend with this brush, but you'll see it really just takes some trial and error, some practice to get to know what you like best for your face. Let me switch over to that brush again and draw this on my forehead. Complete the blend there. Let's see, I think I have some highlight left on that brush that I didn't use. So we'll wipe that off and then blend this all together. I do love this end of the 30-second hack brush for blending. It's super nice and fluffy, just gets the job done really well. It's like dense and fluffy at the same time, so it's really nice. It's like the best of both worlds. Same thing here, you could draw the line. I don't have very much contour left on my brush. And get all that done. Now for blush, this is really fun. For blush, I would use one of these ends, one of these larger ends of these brushes. Let's show you with the more straightforward option is the 30-second hack brush. I'm gonna dip into Sandstone here, and it's a dense, fluffy brush, but it has both of those qualities in it. This is a lot of blush, but we're gonna blend it out and it's gonna be okay. So we're just gonna get that on the apples of the cheeks, and as you just bounce around, move around, it does the job to get that blush set in. And I just got on a little too much, so I'm gonna take my little rag here and wipe some of that off. I'm mostly stippling, not really wiping, and see some of the colors coming off there so I can get a little more natural. I feel like it's just being really bold in the video too, but it's gonna be fine, trust me. For this end of the brush, which does not seem like a blush brush, I actually go in with my finger first into this product, tap a little on my cheeks where it's gonna end up, and then take this side of the brush and blend it out. So this brush has now had highlight, contour, and blush on it, and it's totally fine. All these colors, the way the cream colors are made to work together and blend together, they just, like, it's beautiful the way that the brushes are able to handle all this product. If you do have a ton of excess on your brush, like I did with this one, I had some highlight on there that I didn't use before I went in with the blush. I just like wiped that off on a rag real quick and then went into my colors, and everything is fine. So you do want to clean your brushes every 2 weeks at the most, or that's the longest you should wait between cleaning your brushes. But they really are so good for the cream product, bouncing between colors. That's what we love about this 3D foundation compact, is you can not have to open anything while you're doing your makeup. You open one compact and all of it is right here. Let me show you some powder illuminator with, I would use either the small end of the detail hack or the flat end, the same one we used for the under eyes, of the blend and tap brush. Let me show you with this one. Even this one, really, it's fun to just experiment and see what you like best as far as your brushes go. And when you kind of get in a rut of doing your makeup and you're feeling like things aren't working as well as they once were, then just switch up your brushes, and sometimes that just makes all the difference. It's all the change that you need. Okay, I'm tapping this powder illuminator on my cheekbone with this small end, and then I'm even just gonna flip this around and kind of buff it in so that it stays there all day. And illuminator is always hard to catch on camera, but it's there, I promise. And this does a great job of putting it on. Okay, let's throw on some eyeshadow and eyeliner real quick and we will be good to go. Going back to this flat end of the blend and tap, and let's see, I kind of did this before, but this is just a little bit of my highlight shade that I'm going to then set with setting powder, and this will act as my primer for my eyeshadow. And then we're just going to throw 2 colors on for our eyeshadow and be good to go. This brush is really awesome for eyeshadow, doing like it's a pretty dense and fluffy brush as well, kind of like the 30-second hack brush. So it covers a lot of area, but also just gets the product right where you want it to. So I'm gonna now flip to the bullet end, that's the round end, into Stay Golden, and just kind of bounce this in my crease and kind of all over. This is gonna be transition shade of sorts, but also, I mean, we're only doing 2 colors, so it's gonna show as well. And on the other side, these ends of this brush, again, it just takes some experimenting to see what you like best with which brush, but they could really be interchangeable. Like I could be using this end for this job. And you can just switch it up on the daily, see what you like best, and go from there. I do really love the flat end of the blend and tap brush. I'm going to use You Complete Me to get a nice bold color in the outer corner. Now this color just isn't very bold by itself, and I'm going for a pretty natural look here, but just tapping this like this, you like stamp it on into that outer triangle. It's so satisfying how well it works. I'm going to take this across my lid too, and then just kind of blend that together. And that's basically it for our eyeshadow look. For eyeliner, I am going to use the Hotline brush in an eyeshadow. So I'm just going to use a dry eyeshadow. We'll see how that works with the Hotline brush to give me some eyeliner action. Let me just run some of this under here, pull my look together, and we'll go for it. So this Hotline brush, I like to use a contour in my brows. You can also use an eyeshadow in your brows with this brush. Same thing goes for eyeliner. We have a cream eyeliner called Black Friday that's awesome. Using a contour as eyeliner, using an eyeshadow as eyeliner, anything goes. So I'm going to use this dark brown color called Trust, and I'm just going to tap into that eyeshadow. And let me flip to my mirror here. I'm basically then just going to stamp this along my lash line, and we might mostly stamping, a tiny bit of swiping, just because small strokes are best when dealing with eyes. Better start small, and just like we want this product to be in a really precise place, so we don't want to go too crazy at first. And I really like using eyeshadow as eyeliner because it just gives you a really natural, like, see, this lash line is definitely more defined than this one, but it's not too crazy. Well, we can do the same thing on the bottom. I'm just going to kind of stamp this the way my eyelashes are right now. I'm going to kind of go under my lashes. Be careful not to poke your eye. And you'll have a more defined lash line down there too. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You can imagine what it would look like on this eye. And I hope this helps you figure out how to use a couple different brushes as you are playing with your 3D foundation. Do not be afraid to experiment. There are really no rules. Anything goes, and I hope you have fun.